Greetings, thank you for joining us at FutureMoneyTrends.com. I'm here with a special wealth expert today. He's somebody who I have looked to over the last 5 and 6 years for advice on wealth. In fact, I would bet that because of the books this man has read, because of the people he's spoken with all around the world, literally, he's traveled to probably 30 plus countries. And because of the strategies he's implemented in his own life, I don't know if there's anybody who knows more about wealth and creating wealth than this man right here. So I'm very happy to introduce to you on the show Lior Gantz of wealthresearchgroup.com. Lior, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited.
Well, Lior, I want to get right into this for people. So this is going to be a great interview for anybody looking at personal finance, finance for the new economy, and building wealth in your own life. So to start, Lior, for people who have made the decision to become wealthy, what are some important disciplines for them to adopt right now?
Well, Danny, I think the decision part is very, very key. Once you decide to become wealthy, you got to be committed. And the first thing anybody who's looking to create serious wealth has to do is get out of debt. Personally, I don't have any debts. And if you are looking to make a fortune anytime in your life, that's the first thing you got to do. Whether any consumer debt or any business debt, try to have it down to the minimum. The second thing, and this is very important, you got to be very, very valuable in your place of business, whether you're an employee or you are a business owner, and your customers need to feel that you're very, very valuable to them, because unemployment might creep up a lot in the foreseeable future. And with cut downs, everything like that, it's just going to be a war for your job, basically. Make sure you're doing everything that you can to be the most valuable in that respect. The third thing, and this is the one that's helped me the most, is to become a relentless reader and become addicted to education, financial education. Absorb from all kinds of resources, and just every day strengthen your financial fortress.
That's great advice, Lior. One of the things I've been doing is reading since I was a little kid. I never thought of myself as a nerd, and I don't think I was, but I did enjoy going to Barnes & Noble for a few hours, even as young as 12 and 13. You know, Lior, markets are driven by fear and greed. All of us are emotional beings. How long did it take you to become a great investor? What were some of the mistakes you might have made along the way? Because I know a lot of people, when they email us, I connect with them right away. I'm like, look, don't think you're the only one. Everybody gets tied up into their own emotions on any investment, whether it's real estate or flipping a stock or investing in a stock long term. What are some of the things that you've done to become a great investor, and what are some of the mistakes you made along the way?
Sure. Listen, the first thing I got to tell you is the more you read and educate yourself, the better you'll become, and the faster this will happen to you, because you'll mimic the people that you're listening to. So when I make investment decisions, before I do them, I really take everything under proportion. And I said to myself, okay, what would Ray Dalio do in my situation? Or what would Warren Buffett do in my situation? And I just think in my head, going back to Black Monday in '87, and think how champagne bottles were probably opened up in Berkshire Hathaway's office when shares of Coca-Cola were plummeting, and he was buying hands over fist. So being a creature of fear and greed is very, very counterproductive in the market. You've got to be under control when it comes to your emotions, and this for me personally, this takes place by reading a relentless amount of information and just making sure that I am at the right mindset when I think about putting money at risk. So this unattachment to your emotions is the key thing. Now, everyone develops differently, but the most important thing you can do is just tell yourself that you got to lose old habits and rebuild yourself for success. There's a reason why only 4% of investors beat the market over the long term. They have very, very strict discipline when it comes to taking things under proportions, in the right proportions, and under control. Okay, so mistakes that are made along the way. Probably the biggest mistake is not following my asset allocation correctly. More important than any stock you ever choose is how you diversify your portfolio within asset classes. I'm not talking about buying 20 stocks. I'm talking about putting some in cash, some in gold and silver, some in stocks, some in real estate, and just making sure that if something goes up and another goes down, you're overall very hedged, so you don't suffer any catastrophic losses. Those are the kind of losses that deter investors from going on in their career and missing out on on the great compounding machine that is the stock market. So avoiding costly catastrophic mistakes is very, very important, and it's one of the reasons that I'm still in the game. Okay.
Sure.
So
now, Lior, since I've known you in 2011, you have been all over the U.S. real estate market. However, last year, probably mid-year, you kind of went silent, and then you talked about launching Wealth Research Group. You did. It's an amazing letter, probably one of the best wealth research letters out there. Most diverse I've ever seen when it comes to personal finance, stock investing, whether that's blue chips or small caps. Really just probably the most well-rounded newsletter that is out there and available to readers today. Anyway, I could not get you to buy a mining stock in 2014. I could not get you to buy one in 2015. However, you have now in Wealth Research Group profiled a few companies, and they've been mining stocks in the junior resource sector. You actually profiled some non-mining stocks as well, so I do want to note that. But in the mining sector, you specifically went after some key juniors. On July 13th, you profiled K92 Mining at 99 cents Canadian. Today it trades for about 210 Canadian, so your subscribers have doubled their money. And then I know on August 9th, literally about a month after K92, you profiled Gold Standard Ventures, and that one has now more than doubled. Well, first off, what has made you so bullish on the precious metal sector and specifically the mining stocks in the last 6 months to a year here?
Sure. So just like you said, in 2011, what was very appealing was U.S. Real estate. It was cheap, incredibly hated, and an overall, feared investment. That is very, very bullish for me. But in late 2015, I saw three converging forces that were non-existent before then, and these three converging forces are what makes precious metals soar. So first thing, there's a war on cash right now, and Scandinavian countries have stopped using cash. Sweden, Norway, Denmark, no cash at all. And people are gotta move their cash savings into alternative forms of money. The ultimate form of money is obviously gold and silver. It has been for thousands of years. So the war on cash is continuing. Many countries are going to do this going forward. So a lot of the general public that hasn't been participating in gold before, since only 0.58% of world assets are in gold, are going to move into gold. This is very, very important. It's a tiny market overall, gold. So think of all the paper that's around the globe, and just 1% moving into gold means gold going to about $3,500 per ounce. And I'm not even talking about silver, which is incredibly undervalued. The second thing, and this is something that's baffled me since I've first seen it, is negative interest rates. When you have to pay to save money, or basically when you lend money and pay for that privilege instead of getting a premium for risking your own funds, that means that many people and institutions, by the way, will not take this trade. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to make money off my loans and not pay for them. So gold has become more attractive as a savings vehicle than cash. This is incredibly bullish. And if you study history, when we have real negative interest rates, that's the only time that gold and silver went up no matter what. The third thing, and this is as basic and fundamental as it gets, supply and demand. There's a $54 billion gap between money chasing gold and actual physical gold in existence. So when I calculated that, I got to about $4,500 per ounce, just off the supply and demand fundamentals. This is very basic stuff. So in April, I launched Wealth Research Group, and the idea behind it is to have a financial fortress built every single day for our free subscribers. And what we do is we diverge our business into 5 facets. One is personal finance, and this is just knowledge that everyone needs to know about how to avoid mistakes in your life. Then we have a bi-weekly article on stock market, the big picture. And these articles are incredible in how diverse they are. They use a lot of charts to show what's going on in the world. Classic issues deal with compounding vehicles like blue chip stocks, but that beat the market hands over fist. What I'm most excited about is the steroid stocks, like you said. K92 Mining was one. Gold Standard Ventures was the second one. It's already doubled within less than 3 trading days. But we have researched 758 companies from April, narrowed it down to less than 10. We're waiting now for the perfect time to enter them. But we only go for companies that have, a 10-bagger potential within 6 months to a year. And the way we do that is we have a very unique system of profiling stocks. This is very different than regular stocks. And Dan, what I suggest is put the link up for the steroid stocks special report that I prepared for FMT listeners, because this special report tells you exactly our process and how we do this. So we find these companies that have incredible potential. Personally, I found 4 companies before I launched Wealth Research Group this year in 2016 that have gone up 1,400% for me. So that's 14 times my money. It's insane. So anyways, Wealth Research Group is all about the plethora.
Thank you so much. Everybody, wealthresearchgroup.com. I'll make sure I have all those links for you. You can subscribe today free at the homepage at Wealth Research Group. They also have some special reports. Definitely great information. Lior, we thank you so much for doing this. Your letter certainly is going to rise to the top very quickly. Again, everybody, Lior Gantz, thank you so much for your time, Lior.
Thank you very much.